Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Houston Rockets up against Steve Nash and the Los Angeles Lakers. And the first quarter's just about ready to get going. Let's get out to Los Angeles with our guy, Kevin Harlan.
But I've got soul, the goal is elevation.
And a shot from high above the Staples Center here in downtown Los Angeles, California. We'll see the Houston Rockets taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Bringing you another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg with the fourth member of our team, Doris Burke. And here we go with a look at the State Farm starting lineups. And as we break down the game, let's take a look here at Steve Nash.
Nash is such a devastating offensive player because no matter what you do defensively, he always has an answer. One of the best passers and shooters in the history of the game. So whatever you do, he's going to find a way for his team to score.
Well, you've talked a little bit about him hitting open shots. Even when Nash is absolutely smothered and covered, he can still knock it down. It comes back to that focus and awareness of his. I think his body balance and court awareness are two of his best attributes.
Now here's Nash. Gasol drives in. Second chance shot. And Howard with the layup.
Well, that's what he does. He's going to fight and battle on the offensive glass all night.
Now Lynn. The Lakers on D. From 10 feet out, and the rebound goes to Pau Gasol.
Well, it was an eventful season for Pau Gasol a year ago. Almost got traded before the season started for Chris Paul. The NBA rescinded the deal, and Pau then went on to play for the Lakers the remainder of the season, but did not make the All-Star team.
And the Rockets with possession here. Here's Lynn. Back to Martin. Kicks it to Lynn. Passes it to Parsons. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Patterson. He sinks the 11-footer. Going back to Powell last season, it wasn't just the one trade that got overturned. It was constant trade rumors all season long. Remember Kobe Clark came out and said, you know, either trade him or don't trade him, but don't keep putting his name out there because it's disruptive to the team. He said that halfway through the season. They eventually kept him, of course. I think it weared on everybody, but obviously Clark, it weared on Powell.
Yeah, it did. It had to, man. That's tough. It's hard not to have it wear on you a bit. The Lakers weren't getting a ton of production outside of their big three, and you know, sometimes in a situation like that, it can make sense to trade one of your very good players, but the fact that they were undecided and it didn't happen and it was just kind of hovering didn't do anybody any good.
Here's Lynn following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Outside, Lynn dishes to Patterson. He kicks to Martin from downtown, and the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Mike Brown. What's the news there, Doris?
Kevin, he said he expects their interior defense to be airtight tonight. He said shot blocking is something our team can really hang its hat on. That ability to contest and deny shots inside frees us up to be more aggressive on the perimeter. So in a sense, it's really the foundation for us defensively. Guys, we'll see if they can build on that to secure the W.
All right, great stuff, Doris. Thanks. And guys, not too much of a surprise. The defense is going to be the emphasis.
Yeah, that's the type of team they are. I mean, they always seem to feed off of that defense. They're just really trying to attack and force some turnovers and get out and run.
Exactly, Steve. I mean, that's really what drives them on a game-to-game basis.
Well, no defense. He didn't really need to do the double pump.
Lynn dishes to Martin. He feeds it to a Sheik. Jams it straight down.
Well, after he threw that one down, he felt free to hang around for a little while.
A little extra emphasis at the end.
Now, you got to be careful, too, on that. It used to be an automatic technical foul. They'll still call it at times, but they're a little more selective with the call.
The Lakers in the lead. And Nash, here we go, makes the alley-oop pass.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch on that pass, and then to lay it up and in, all in one motion.
That's about as graceful as it gets, huh?
Splendid.
And I like that he just went with the simple layup instead of trying to do anything too fancy. He just got the job done.
Right side, Lynn. Rebounded by the Lakers. For three, Kobe. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assists. Nash has got 3 assists in the game. And so the first quarter is in the books. Lakers lead by 7. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Carlos Delfino out there with Royce White. Then it's Jeremy Lamb. Then there's Maniunas. And it's Douglas in at the point.
Well, one thing you hear about Kevin McHale with the Rockets, he's never afraid to call out his players. He's totally honest with them. And I think they appreciate that. You know, maybe a demanding style of coaching, but when you're honest with your players, I think they'll respect that. And that's exactly what happened with McHale in Houston.
And Coach McHale, if his players aren't producing, Steve, even the stars, he'll show them to the bench. He has no problem with it.
No, you know, in Houston last year was interesting, Kevin. They had so many combinations of players that I think some of the players actually complained that they weren't getting consistent minutes. But the problem on that team was that nobody stood out. You know, nobody really jumped to the forefront and took over the team. That's why they were about 500 and, you know, on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
The Lakers with the ball. The Rockets making the shot. And here is Barnes. Over Delfino. Here's Howard. And he lays it straight in. Howard's got 8.
That's 4 of their last 5 buckets now coming in the paint area.
And they're in attack mode right now, barreling in there with bad man intentions.
You know, Tony Douglas had the starting point guard role early last season for the Knicks, but just didn't run with it. He struggled with his shooting and his playmaking, so it became a season to forget for him on an individual basis as Jeremy Lin took his starting job.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Pau Gasol's checked in for Howard. World Peace comes in for Matt Barnes. Kobe's checked in for Meeks. And it's Nash in for Steve Blake. Now here's Lynn, looking for his first bucket of the game. And Tony Douglas, I think you'd say Clark in his first 2 seasons in the league prior to last season had been a pleasant surprise. But, you know, as Steve just said, last season was really a struggle.
Yeah, the growth isn't always going to be a straight line north. A late first rounder showed he could shoot the 3 and play tough defense, a little undersized when he has to play 2 guards. But he's still a guy that I think is going to be very productive going forward.
Martin goes in, and that one's good. Martin's got his second bucket of the game to go.
That's grace over power, guys. That finger roll gets him 2 points. Impressive stuff.
Here's Gasol. Good, and the assist goes to Nash.
You know, the turnaround jumper, guys, is one of those shots that always just looks so good. I mean, it's got that nice, smooth, singular motion. Sweet.
Now, here's Patterson. Patterson, a screen on Jamison. Jumper off the screen. Parsons' shot is off.
Yeah, that's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
Nash against Martin. Kobe kicks to Nash. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Now here's Lynn. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. The feed to Parsons. Feeds it to a sheep. From down in the low post, it goes.
Well, and you can't let them get deep position.
Yeah, you got to do your work early here, Steven. You got to be physical with it.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
And we saw it last year, guys, because those numbers were so low. Teams weren't afraid to put him on the line where points were hard to come by for him.
And so that's the end of the first half. The Lakers on top, up by 9. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to the halftime show. Glad you're with us. I'm Damon Bruce. The Lakers have the lead out in Los Angeles against Houston. Anybody finding it difficult to breathe in here? Maybe it's because the defense has been suffocating. Dwight Howard's the top scorer. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? The Rockets have been plugging away. Great ball control offensively. The turnover differential a major advantage right now. Kevin Martin leads the team in scoring. And they love the output they've gotten from Patrick Patterson, too. That'll be it for the halftime report. The second half is coming right up. Hope to see you next time.
The second half just about to get going here. One of the stories here, Dwight Howard getting it done today.
And a lot of the second chances that this team has gotten have come because of his hard work underneath.
Steve, he's scrapping and fighting and positioning down there and doing everything he can within the rules to get his team extra chances. And I think it's just a credit to his hustle out there.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So for the Lakers right now, Kobe, Meta, and Pau Gasol are the guys that make up the 2, 3, and 4 slots. Nash out there with Howard.
You know, Steve Nash is undoubtedly one of the most creative and prolific passers the league has ever seen. He's recently passed Oscar Robertson for 5th on the list of all-time assist totals, closing in on Magic Johnson as well.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, as you know, Jeremy Lin's emergence last season completely captivated the world. And for a few weeks this offseason, he even managed to steal the spotlight from the Dwight Howard saga. A restricted free agent, the Knicks said they'd match, quote, any offer up to $1 billion. The Rockets signed him to a 3-year offer sheet with a 3rd-year, quote, poison pill, as they call it, of high salary. When it became clear the Knicks would match the offer, the Rockets increased it even further. Ultimately, the Knicks declined to match in light of the severe luxury tax penalties, leaving Jeremy a very well-paid point guard for the Rockets. Guys,
He's surprised a lot of people with how well he's done. Thanks, Doris. Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Antoine Jameson's checked in for Gasol. Barnes comes in for Meta World Peace. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Steve Nash. Now here's Lynn. It's Delfino outside. Rebound by Antoine Jameson.
And guys, going back to Steve Nash, you know, last season he was 2nd in the NBA in assists, 1st in assists per minute. I mean, he is so effective and efficient, not only in his statistics, but in how he moves. You watch him and it's just a study in not wasting motion. He's got a combination of court vision and passing that's as unique as any player we've ever had in the league in my mind. And he's got tremendous balance on both sides of his body. He can really do things effectively either side and with either hand.
Rockets trail by 9. And the pass to Delfino from the arc. The rebound by Blake.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
And so it looks like the Lakers will retain possession here.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score, so that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Pau Gasol is checked in for Jameson. World Peace comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Nash in for Steve Blake. And here's Douglas following the 3-pointer by Kobe Bryant. It's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession. And the Lakers making a change here. Leach is checked in. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. There's the dish to Douglas. He passes to a Sheik. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
Boy, just a wasted possession. You can't afford any of those.
And trying to narrow the gap here, certainly not a good time to get sloppy.
Up top, Kobe. Here's Nash. And that's not going to go. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Lakers lead by 12. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Now, let's check in with Doris Burke for the Sprite Uncontainable Game. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. And it's the Lakers with the Uncontainable Game Award for the offensive stretch they put together. They finished the third quarter in a strong way with that impressive run. It might just be the ticket to victory.
Thanks, Doris. And guys, when you can put together that sort of streak that builds the momentum in a big way for your team, it's something.
Always, Kevin. I mean, it's impossible for a stretch like that not to influence the outcome of the game.
You know, when you're on the wrong side of a run like that, there's not a whole lot you can do. We'll see soon enough if that's indeed what makes the difference today.
Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Lynn at the 1 with Lamb at the 2. Carlos Delfino out there with Royce White. And it's Patterson in at center. Dwight Howard. He's checked in for Antoine Jamison. Houston also making some changes. A Sheik has checked in for White. And it's Martin in for Lamb. This all setting the pick for Barnes. In low to Howard. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Martin with it. Picked up by Kobe. Martin the pass to Delfino. Drills the three-pointer. Delfino's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Rockets. Kobe against Martin. Now here's Kobe. Defense is right there. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, guys, Kevin McHale had some advice for the team in that last break. He said, listen, we've come this far. Now we've got to lay it on the line to get a win. I know we can do it. So show them what you got and let's make it happen. Guys, we'll see if they can do it.
Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Up top, Lynn, defended by Nash. That's a blocking foul, and he'll shoot free throws.
I think one of Lynn's best attributes, Kevin, is his ability to score and finish through contact. You know, he's got deceptive strength to his lower body. He's able to maintain that balance in the paint, even after he gets bumped, and finish plays.
Well, that balance you talk about with the added strength helps him defensively as well because he's underrated at that end. He might not have the size and reach to lock guys up, but he plays a very smart defensive game. Good work turning that into an easy 2-point. He can attack the rim as well as anybody.
1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Martin, the three is launched. Oh, and here we go with Kobe with nobody back.
Hammer time! Hammer time! Yeah, he's giving that breakaway rim a workout.
Yeah, he powered it down and then hung around.
Strong finish. I mean, he just wanted to sit there and savor it for a second.
And the replay, of course, presented by Sprite. What a play. Outside, Martin. Three-pointer gets the bucket.
And that's his second three-pointer of this half. Looks like he's starting to forget about that poor first half he had.
An alley-oop pass. Howard in the post. And another basket for the Lakers.
Well, they are not exactly taking their foot off the gas just yet.
No, they want to throw a little bit of whipped cream and some cherry on top of this one.
Here's Parsons.
Well, there's some very popular destinations for free agents around the league. Chicago, New York, Miami. But for me, the Lakers are still the premier market for players. You know, big city, a history of winning with the Laker organization, and fantastic weather, of course.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Matt Barnes is checked in for Howard. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kobe. The Rockets also changing it up. Monty Eunice is checked in for Asheed. Delfino comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Jeremy Lin.
That's going to do it. I don't think they have enough time here now.
This one's in the books.
No good from Delfino. The Lakers have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Meeks dishes to Nash. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwight Howard.
Point out the bounce. Show me the bounce. Yeah. Point out the bounce. Yeah. Timbo King. Yeah. Young Hope King. Yeah. Just point out the bounce. Yes. Just point out the bounce.
Hold up, son. Word. Yeah. To all the and $100 billers. For real, who ain't got no feelings.